Hello, Comics Gate, Indie Comics, everybody who's watching us tonight on a Sunday. Thank you very much for tuning in. We have a lot of fun projects today that we wanted to showcase. A lot of great artists, legends of the indie comic scene, if you will, and people with far bigger channels than ours. So I feel important today. Do you feel important?
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like we have celebrities.
We do have celebrities out here. International celebrities, all of them, by the way.
Yeah, and time traveling celebrities.
And time traveling celebrities as well. We're gonna start with Clayton and Corey Barton. They're the brother team behind Kosor, and they are our special guests of tonight. I also want to say hello to everybody in the panel in Mega Arts, and Pancho and Oliver from 656 Comics, who also will be launching a really awesome, cool-looking project soon, as well as Abel, who was I don't know, unzipping his pants right before we went live. So, I don't know what's going on out there, but he's
just a fan right now. Just a fan. I appreciate to be here, guys, with these two guys.
Absolutely. So it promises to be a pretty fun stream. We're gonna talk about Kosor, On the Border, of course, Grim Reaper 2, who will be fulfilling soon as well, and also movies. We want to talk about indie movies today as well. Before we get started, I wanted to say hello to everybody in the chat. Hello to Frog G.
Hey.
So thank you for joining us tonight, my friend. Long time no see. Good to have you back. Same thing with Chris Evans as well. Always here. Chris, you're gonna have a pretty neat surprise soon when
I always tell him the same.
Man, when we ship it back out to you, because we did so much with your character. Then statistical zero. Man, you're always just dropping by and leaving. What's up with this? You're playing with my emotions.
We have to send him the link.
Oh, that's right.
We have to send him the link so he can stay here in the stream.
Absolutely. And then, of course,
Weirdos.
You guys.
Weirdos. Okay.
How you doing?
We love you too, Carla.
How you doing today, Clayton?
Yeah, good, man. Thanks for having us. We really do appreciate coming on to your show and hanging out with you guys. You're always a lot of fun. We had you on our show, like a few months ago, probably toward the start of this year, to showcase your book. And so it's come full circle. Here we are now showing you our book.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely. We were so very grateful to go on your show as well. We have tons of backers and supporters from Australia, so I think we should go one of these days, huh? And just go bug you guys over there and eat your...
Yeah, give us a visit.
You should be.
Eat some kangaroo meat, which, by the way, is actually a thing. I found out not too long ago.
Yeah.
Have you guys had it yet? Have you guys had it before?
No, I haven't tried it.
We haven't had it, but you can get it here, like just from the supermarket. And from what I hear, it's a little bit. I think the word is gamey. It's a strong meat. So if you're a meat lover, maybe you'll like it. I think it'd go well in a stew, personally. Yeah.
Yeah, I have heard that it's just like something you gotta eat really quick before it goes bad, right?
Yeah. No, that's exactly it. That's really any meat, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, I guess you can say that. But yeah, you guys have the channel, or at least you do, Clayton Cole, How to Draw Comics.net.
Yeah.
And here you kind of teach in a lot of ways, no? You have speed paintings and teach how to draw. How long have you been an artist for?
Man, I've been an artist for an extremely long time. I don't think I ever wasn't. I started out when I was a young kid drawing lots of funny, weird-looking cartoons because, of course, that's the kind of stuff I watched on TV, like The Simpsons and South Park. And then as I grew older, I got into more, I guess, adult versions of that. Not the dirty kind, but more like, Spawn and The Darkness. And I was never really into Spider-Man, Superman, and Batman. They were a little bit too soft for me. So I was more into the hardcore stuff like Spawn. Right. And so I got into McFarlane. He was a huge inspiration and influence on my artistic style. And dude, I couldn't help it. I'd read a few pages of Spawn and I'd want to draw, right? Yeah. I'm sure that, Carla is an artist, right? I'm sure you've had that experience where, you see something inspiring and you just want to get your hand moving on the page.
Oh, yeah. When something hits the spot, you just, no, I have to draw. I need a paper right now. And,
Totally.
It's the spot.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
maybe my expression is wrong. I don't know. I'm trying to English the best I can. Okay, please.
And I want to ask Corey, are you the younger brother or is Clayton the younger brother? Because you guys both look very young.
Yeah, so I'm the younger brother, and I guess I probably looked up a lot to Clayton's artwork, and we both did a lot of the same thing.
Kind of trying to follow in on his footsteps.
Yeah, I guess so. He's always the brother that was one step ahead. So
Did he ever teach you anything about his ways, or you're self-taught as well?
yeah, so Clayton, he has taught me a lot. I got a lot from the David Finch tutorials as well. So we both kind of learn off each other a lot.
Yeah, we're always bouncing ideas off of one another, always showing each other our work and asking for feedback and critique. And I always hate it when Corey, tells me where I need to correct my stuff, but I thank him for it at the end of the day because he's usually right, and vice versa. That's the wonderful thing about having a brother who is also an artist, especially when we used to live together. It was so cool to just, hey man, what do you think of this artwork? Does it look shit? Does it look great? And yeah.
And what about the fights when no, you draw the hand better or draw this better, and no, it looks,
Yeah.
what I mean?
He was always a pretty harsh critique, but he did always lead me in the right direction. And he practically taught me how to color my own comics. So
Awesome.
I gotta hand that to him.
Thanks,
And that's
bro.
one thing that really stands out in you guys' art is the coloring. It's really wonderful, man. I want to save all my compliment for when we review Kozo and when we check it out. But based on all the things you see on you guys' page is wonderful.
Well, that was one thing I purposely done with Kozo. Like, it's like a very dark subject matter, but I thought like giving it more vibrant, popping colors really contrasted with that. Made its own
Totally.
thing.
Absolutely. I want to say hello to the chat, hello to Albino Thunder Buns. Thank you for joining us. And to Shane as well.
Shane.
And then Statistical Zero, he just kind of snuck in and we didn't even see him. What's up, brother?
Hi, everybody.
Hey, it's that Z. He has like a rapper name. It's that Z.
Oh,
Hi.
yeah, that's right. That's cool, man.
That's my exclusive White Cat Comics pronunciation of my name.
Yeah, we don't pronounce things right over here.
Oh no, there's just so many variations of it. Over in CGUK, I'm Stato, and other places it's Zero or Statistical, or like it's just
Nicknames.
whatever.
But that's the cool thing about Statistical. He goes through all of these different communities. He like
Swimming
Yeah,
through
he's-
comics game.
he's always.
I love you guys.
But that's great. I want to say hello to Edwin as well. Thank you for joining us. And of course, Phil Diaz, how are you, my friend? Great to see you here. Hello to the chat. All right. Now let's talk about you guys' project, which is live already and doing really great, called Kozor. And if I'm not mistaken, Corey, you are the writer behind this. And then you also are the illustrator, but your brother is kind of helping you out with kind of perfecting it, right?
Yeah, so originally I had like done the entire book, but it's been like a few years, and me and Clayton decided to put it as an Indiegogo campaign, and Clayton's basically touching up a lot of the artwork. He's done a new cover, and we're going to do some rewriting to the dialogue as well.
Yeah.
So it's basically like a remaster.
So,
Yeah.
guys, did you men were inspired by Spawn, the Dark Ages comic?
Sorry, what was that? Spawn the Dark Ages?
Yeah, did you ever read that? The first incarnation about the first 10 issues. I don't remember who the artist is, but your art
Exactly.
really reminds me of his art, man.
Yeah. I'll have to check him out. I did like, I think Philip Tan worked on a Spawn comic that I have. It's like all in black and white, and that was really awesome.
Oh,
But I guess I
yeah.
was mostly inspired by like the Berserk manga.
Oh, of course.
Huge inspiration.
So this is more like a Dark Ages fantasy comic.
Yeah, it's very much like a horror fantasy comic. It's got a little nightmare elements, and then you got your fantasy elements as well.
Yeah, you can definitely see in the monster he's with 100 eyes. Kind of reminds me a little bit of like the Hellraiser demons, if you will, no?
Oh yeah, we love Hellraiser.
Yeah.
The first movie was the best.
So Clayton, what was like remastering these for your brother and doing it as a team for you guys?
Yeah, it was really cool. In fact, it was so fun that we're thinking of doing it in the future, collaborating in this way. Working over the top of someone else's stuff is something which allows you to be able to focus on the more finer details rather than, trying to do the entire thing at once. So, when you go at this on your own, you're thinking about the composition, you're thinking about the anatomy and the placement of the characters and, the perspective, the composition, as I said. But when you're going over the top of someone else's stuff, you kind of just, all that information is already there, so you don't have to think about it. And that gives you more real estate inside your brain to focus on just the areas that can be adjusted or perfected in a certain way. It's kind of like when you're reworking one of your own drawings, you've gone through the hard yards, the difficult parts are done. Now it's just a matter of polishing things up. And so, we've adjusted a lot of the line art, made sure especially that the faces of the characters really are structured in an accurate way. Because, Corey has come such a distance within his artistic development over 3 years. And so Kozor is a little bit of it needed an update. And we really do feel like we're giving people the definitive edition here through doing so.
And Corey, when did you write this story originally?
I forget the exact time when, but it's been about I probably started like 5 years ago doing the notes on my phone until I think I started on the actual book, like the artwork, about 3 years ago.
Absolutely.
It's been a long journey.
I wanna contribute because I'm saying I'm really liking the expression of the characters. That I see a lot, I don't want to be mean, I'm just gonna be opinionated, okay? Normally in comics I see these perfectly drawn characters with impeccable cross-hatching. Like here I see the perfect technique, but sometimes expressions are not right there. But in this case, I see really, really good expressions. So you actually can get into the story, You guys are taking it one step further than just the technique, and that's something I really appreciate because, I don't know if it's some kind of misunderstanding or maybe, I don't know, from the artists that normally, what I'm more used to see in comics is lack of expression. Yes, all the technique in the world. Yes, perfect, beautiful. You see it and you don't find a mistake, but there's something that's not there. But in this case, I am seeing, especially this page I just saw, this one, I see different expressions, different, you feel like it's moving. And I really, really like that. I also really appreciate the color palette that you guys are using here. You are, very organically going through the cold and the warmer tones, but everything works perfectly. Not everybody knows how to do that, so guys, props to you. I don't know how to say it in English. I really like that. Very well.
I really like that.
Okay, good.
I think the orange with blue is probably one of my favorite color lighting mixes. But you're right. I think the emotions especially are very important to the story in a way, because it's like it's horror. This guy's being haunted by this monster and he's going through a lot.
Definitely. And I'm crazy about the design of those two demons there. I'm crazy about that. It has this kind of African inspiration. I don't know.
Egyptian, they look
or Egyptian. I love it. That's very unique.
Corey designed all of them. So
no, props to both of you guys. Definitely a great looking comic. Did it take a lot of convincing, Clayton, for your brother to finally launch it after all those years?
Clayton convinced me. So
right.
So
what was holding you back? What would you say was holding you back from launching it or from trying the crowdfunding?
So I had been working on issue 2 for a long time, perhaps even longer than issue 1, and I guess it's my artwork had built up so much and my techniques had changed to where I was a bit like I was almost unsure about issue 1. Like I was wanting to add more pages to it, make sure it was good. I was thinking even about just putting the two together to make sure people had the right first impression. But then, Clayton had talked a lot with me about it. He wanted to upgrade the artwork and do a new cover. So, I thought, do issue 1 for now. We can get it out sooner in issue 2.
Yeah.
And it'll be good.
And now it looks better than ever.
And I already know the answer to this, but I'm sure a lot of people are curious in the chat. Will the original one without the remastering be available in this campaign?
Yeah. So we're going to include that in one of the highest tiers. It'll basically include 4 different books. So you'll get the definitive version, which you're seeing here with all the remastered art. You'll get the Corey's cover variant, a black and white version, which is pretty cool. And then, you get that original untouched edition of Kozor, which is a bit more of a collector's item because we're only going to be printing 50 of those. And I don't know if we'll ever print any more than that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, wonderful. I want to say hail to the chat one more time. Hail to Jax, who's tuning us. This is not CG Latino. I mean, I guess it kind of is CG Latino because we have.
It's Wicca Comics.
This is Wicca Comics Latino today. Hail to Frog G and hail to Blue Samurai Zero, who's also joining us today as well. Definitely check out this project, Kozor. Originally written and drawn by Corey Barton, but now remastered by his brother Clayton, who is basically a pro at this, and
thanks, man.
It's amazing.
Who taught his brother a lot of lessons about drawing as well. And they teamed up to create this wonderful masterpiece. What is Kozor about? What's the story about?
So go ahead, Corey. I'll let you take this one.
All right. We can probably see it on the main page. But basically, so the first issue, Descent of Madness, follows the character Chief Baron. Mm-hmm. He's like this grizzled warrior who's on a mission to get these faceless people in like the swamplands of Nimla. And along the way, he's sort of haunted by like this Magator character who's like manipulating his thoughts, different things like that. And
basically Chief Baron is like this badass savage, right? Like he's the dude that you're looking at right there, wearing the face of this dude that he's slaughtered in battle, right? So he's not to be messed with. He's like a much darker version of Conan, but mixed with a little bit of Spawn. As you can see, there's some chains coming down there. And him and his men go into the swamplands of Nimla, as Corey said, to procure these faceless people who are actually this very submissive but very powerful super soldier race of beings that'll help balance out the odds in a war between man and demon. So they play a very vital role within this story. But along the way, Chief Baron is being manipulated, his mind corrupted by this insidious demon presence known as Magator, who actually wants to turn him into a pawn for his own bidding. Mm-hmm. So, will Chief Baron's mind completely break? Will he succumb to the madness? You'll have to find out.
Very interesting story, like a battle within his own mind against his own demons. But I just want to point out that when you said that he wanted to turn him into his pawn, it sounded like he wanted to turn him into his porn. And that is hilarious.
Maybe a little bit of that too. I don't know.
I want to say hail to War Raven number 5.
Guys, don't scare our guests, please.
Nah, I'm not trying to. And
exactly what I meant.
Get more fans, Carla.
Bringing more fans to the thing. And then Chris Evans has a question for you. Can you speak Portuguese?
I can understand it, but I can't speak it. However, I know Johnny Cage is Portuguese. Maybe you can contact him.
He's Brazilian.
Well.
So he speaks Portuguese.
Yeah.
Usually, most Spanish-speaking people would understand it as opposed to speaking it. I don't know why that is, but I guess it's like the whole thing with English and Dutch. Like the
Yeah,
Dutch
they're like
cannot-
sister
they're like, yeah,
languages.
kind of.
I guess, and Kosor is going to be, for example, each book is going to be, for example, a single story, or is it going to end on a cliffhanger?
Yeah, so it is the same story, but each issue is going to be sort of following a different character.
Cool.
Yeah.
So in issue 2, it'll actually follow his daughter, like Chief Baron's daughter, and you'll get to see what happens to her, and it'll still have Chief Baron in the background, but it'll keep following that same storyline.
But yes,
Oh.
it does end on a cliffhanger. This first issue, it's a bit of a
Yeah.
shocker.
Guys, you
It's a
don't
big
have
twist.
for spoilers. You don't do that.
Oh no, we're not giving away any spoilers here.
Oh, good.
By the way, I drop the link here. You can, you guys, if you haven't done so already, go check out Kosor, and yeah, definitely get it. It's still available.
I'm a little scared because Tatsi is very quiet. I want to know what he thinks.
The art looks great. It reminds me a little bit of Dave Finch. Just
Yeah.
Yeah, we learned a lot
Looking-
from him.
right,
Corey's
right at
really
it.
influenced by
I
him.
was just calling a comic strip while I was listening. Kind of like, this is my first time meeting. I think most of you, so I'm just kind of like listening, get my lay of the land.
Sweet. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. You know, the Kosor, where it leaves off, gave me nightmares.
Dude, don't say it, man. Don't say it.
No, that's good. Like for people who like horror, like me, this is what we want when we're reading horror. Things that will give for sure. How about we watch the trailer real quick? I'm
Wait,
very
I don't
curious.
know if you share with audio. You
I-
have to share again.
I did.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, there was I did.
Kosor Descent into Madness features 43 full-color pages of intricately detailed art that tells a nightmare-fueled story of foul demons, abundant bloodshed, and the insidious corruption of a warrior's psyche. The story centers around a mighty warrior named Chief Baron and his clan of savage swordsmen who embark on a quest into the sacred swamplands of Nimla in search for the mysterious Faceless People, a race of submissive super soldiers who will balance out the odds in a ruthless war between man and demon. But when they're attacked by a flock of flying beasts, their journey proves more fatal than they could have ever imagined. In this campaign, backers get no less than the definitive edition of Kosor Descent into Madness, which comes complete with refined edits, additional story pages, retouched interior artwork, and new wraparound covers. If you're a fan of dark fantasy and medieval horror, this book is for you. Back Kosor Descent into Madness today, only on Indiegogo.
Great choice in music, by the way.
Thanks, man.
That's awesome.
It's awesome, man.
Music by great narration. Yeah, that's an amazing trailer.
Really
That's
good.
just right in the mood.
I also want to point out that I noticed your signature reminds me a lot of Todd McFarlane's one.
Oh, thank you. That's a big compliment.
So it's going to be very brutal, very, very violent, I guess, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. And, the second issue really is no better. It's also extremely violent. And
I said the second issue is even worse. So
yeah.
the first issue introduces you to a few things, and then the second issue is just going to double it all.
So it's not for the faint of heart, it's not for kiddies or anything like that. It's for, adults.
It's for you, not for me.
Yeah, absolutely. No, yeah, great looking campaign. Great looking book as well, guys. So congratulations.
Totally, man.
You're doing really good. Now, before we move on, I would like to go over the perks real quick. Mind you, these are Australia. Oh, but right here you have the US.
Yeah, the conversion.
The conversion. So all 3 editions plus a poster for $135, and that's $96 American, right?
Yeah, so you get 3 posters with that one, actually. each of the covers that you're seeing there at an A3 size. And if you click on the perk, you'll see the actual measurements and issues for those A3 sizes, which is 11.7 by 16.5, printed on 300 GSM. So it's a little bit less of a poster and more of a print. And they're all shipped to you completely flat in one of these very sturdy packages, actually. So it's very similar to a Gemini package, just as durable, if not more durable. The mailman could kick it all the way to your doorstep, and it'd be in peak condition. So,
right, absolutely. And I know you guys are shipping from far away, from Australia. You guys ship everywhere in the world.
Yep.
And is the shipping included, or is this separate?
No, the shipping is separate. We've tried to keep shipping prices as low as we possibly can. We've carefully made sure that we've weighed everything and taken that into consideration when we come up with a shipping price. So I think most people will find that they're quite reasonable, the shipping prices. But yeah, the cool thing is about that is when you add more books to your package, it doesn't necessarily increase the shipping price, because there's a certain milestone. When you get to a certain weight, then the price increases, which means you're kind of getting a bit of a bargain on the shipping when you add multiple books into the mix.
Yeah, absolutely. And a great feature perk, by the way, because you guys can get all the three editions plus the poster. So great deal on that one. Now let's talk about KOZOR, just KOZOR 1, the definite edition.
So for $25 USD, the standard price for a Comicsgate book, you get the definitive edition of KOZOR, which is the main cover that I've illustrated with the updated artwork inside. You also get an A4 print with that, which is 8.3 by 11.7 inches. And that print will showcase the art on the cover without the title, of course. You'll also get a digital comic book PDF of that edition, and it's going to be signed by both Corey and I.
Fantastic. And look, for when you buy just the book, you don't just get the book, right? You get the digital comic book PDF as well, the signature with the signatures on it, as well as the posters. Great deal. Now this is Corey's variant cover.
Yep, same deal, except with Corey's variant cover, you get the print, you get the digital PDF of that version of the book, and it is also signed by both Corey and I.
Yeah, absolutely. Then black and white, the line art edition.
Yeah, so this is quite a special edition. It is also $25 USD, except both the cover, which is a wraparound cover, by the way. I should mention that, which means you're going to get stunning artwork on the front and the back. But also the interior artwork on this edition is also just the black and white line art to really showcase the incredible and intense detail of Corey's line work. It is, of course, the updated version of the book that I've gone over the top of and retouched the art upon. So it's a really cool edition of the book, because I think that what really comes across when you take out all the color is that classic feel that you'd get from those old horror comics from back in the 80s. Right. And of course, you really see that Berserk influence come through for those who are fans of the manga or anime.
Yes, especially in the black and white edition, looks gorgeous, man.
Yeah, we released a new page update for that today, in fact. And it does look stunning. We actually can't wait to get our hands on a copy of it ourselves.
Man, great stuff. Now the $50 US one gives you the combo with the two variant covers, right?
Yep. So that's a really popular one that people have gone for, actually, and it's no wonder why. You get both the covers there. You also get two A4 prints with that one, featuring both the covers, the artwork for the covers on there. They're both signed by Corey and I, and you get the digital comic book versions of both as well. So the reason we're including a digital version of the book is because if you're anything like us, you want to keep these hard copies in peak condition for as long as possible. And with the digital version, you can go back and read that, look at it as much as you like on anything that you want, whether it's your mobile phone or tablet, your TV, and all the while you can keep that hard copy in perfect condition. Now, if you get the two pack there, you can kind of, have a hard copy version that you read all the time as well if you want that.
Yeah.
Right. For the same price, you get both the black and white and the definitive edition, right?
Yep, pretty self-explanatory there. Both signed by Corey and I. You get the 2 prints, of course, featuring that cover art and the digital versions.
Oh, and the digital one.
Cool.
And last but not least.
Yeah, so this is a really special perk, actually. It's limited to 50 people. I believe the last time I looked, 11 had already gone. John Malin was one of the people who backed this particular tier. And the reason why it's so great is because you actually get 4 separate books in this pack. So it's a real collector's edition tier to back. You get the definitive edition, you get the variant, you get the black and white version, but you also get the very original by Corey himself, and that is untouched dialogue, untouched artwork, untouched colors by me. It also features the original cover. With that, you also get 5 A3 sized prints. Again, they're pretty big prints at 11.7 by 16.5 inches. You get an original sketch by Corey, so Corey will pull one of those up for us in a second. And I got to say, they're less sketches and more finished pencils, in my opinion. You got it there, Corey?
I've got the scan. I'm not sure there. Oh, wait a second.
Corey, do you work digitally or you work the old stuff?
Yeah, so I usually work digitally, but I've decided to do some pencil sketches just right here. So these are going to be pretty rare.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Nice.
So is the comic all done digital or?
Yeah, so the whole original comic was done digitally. It's usually just faster to work.
Yes.
But yeah.
Man, have you ever read Elric, the Elric books by Michael Moorcock?
Sorry, what was that?
Have you ever read the Elric books by Michael Moorcock? Because that woman read. It looked like that, man. It really reminds me that art style.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody's going to get an original artwork there. Now, on top of that, you also get a Kozo bookmark and sticker. You get 3 exclusive collector cards. So we've really packed the value into this tier at $185 USD. But every single penny is worth it, in our opinion. You also get the digital copies, of course. Everything signed by Corey and I. And here's a look at the actual original book of Kozor. So Corey's got it printed up there. It has remained in that form for about for almost 3 years now. So we may even throw this one up as an exceptionally high tier. For maybe we'll just sell this folder off.
Like this. This is just
Great looking pages. Look at that.
Oh wow!
Great looking colors too.
Wow,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Colors.
Yeah.
That looks hell yeah. That looks
It's
cool.
very vibrant when it's printed.
Beautiful.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Man, wow. That looks really cool.
Oh wow. Yeah, I mean it looks great in digital, but printed.
Print is always better.
My
Print is
God.
always better. That's for sure. That's for sure. If you have a chance to buy the book in its printed form, for sure do it. For all comics, I'll say print is always better. Of course, we always look for digital buyers. You know what I mean? Support every way you can all these wonderful projects. And do remember that this is not the actual price in American dollars. It's this one right. Oh,
Whoops.
Don't dox yourself.
I guess I'm gonna dox myself right now.
Yeah. So those prices are they going to be much cheaper in USD?
Right. So it's much more. They're
You're
much.
a boomer, baby.
I know.
Boomer time. Boomer it up, John.
Yeah. Bullying the elderly. It's not cool. So yeah, guys, do check out Kozor live on Indiegogo now, going over $11,000. I didn't check, was it $11,000 American or Australian?
No, that's over $11,000 in USD. Sorry, in Australian, I think it's over 16,000, which is absolutely mind blowing for Corey and I, because it's one thing to get this book out there, but to know that many people want to jump on board, support it, and want to hold it in their hands is the most rewarding aspect for us. It's only been us who has been able to experience Kozor up until this point. So there's going to be, let's see how many backers we've got. There's going to be 186 people so far who are going to be able to actually hold that book in their hands. It's just amazing.
Right. Absolutely.
Any
man,
plan
pretty
for stretch goals?
We've got a big list of stretch goals actually, including if we get to a certain amount, a 22-page preview of KOTOR 2, which will be done by the time we fulfill KOTOR 1, and it's an even longer volume at 60 pages
60
long.
pages, yeah.
But that's a very high milestone. But we're thinking of doing perfect bound books as well at some point. We've got a bunch of collector cards that we're going to reveal as well, a bunch of prints. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be really awesome. And we're looking forward to coming up with more and more stretch goals as time goes on and we meet those new milestones.
Absolutely. And that's what we're here for, right? Making great comics, making great content, and entertaining people, that's for sure. So if you haven't done so already, please check Indiegogo campaign live right now, Project KOTOR. And also, while you're at it, please try to subscribe to How to Draw Comics on YouTube as well. This is you guys' YouTube channel as well, where you teach people how to draw. Like myself, I can only draw stick figures, and they're pretty bad. So I will be watching some of these videos for sure.
Yeah, totally. We've got a bunch of tutorials there for people who want to know more about the art of comic book illustration. That's kind of how we started. We've got our website, howtodrawcomics.net, which has a bunch of free resources on there for aspiring artists. But on top of that, we interview people like you guys who are actual comic book creators.
And we are.
Yeah.
We're not these guys, by the way. With these guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Such great artists as yourselves, guys. What do you think about the state in which modern mainstream comics are coming out with these kind of designs?
It inspires us to make books like KOTOR and later on my project Renegade Alpha, because we grew up in the 90s, right, which was almost the peak of kick-ass comic book art with the Image era. And so we want to really bring that back, especially looking at the comic books that we see today, which are just, a little bit underwhelming for us.
Yeah, it feels like every time we go to the comic book shop in the city, we're just constantly disappointed. It's like we go back to like the manga aisle or like the old school 90s comics.
Yeah, that excitement just isn't there as much anymore. And there was a time, believe it or not, when you'd go into a comic book store and your eye would just catch a cover of a book you'd never heard of before, and this excitement, this adrenaline would fill your veins.
Well, sometimes like I see a comic, insane like comic cover on like the comic book, like the issue shelf, right? You open it up and you feel like you're almost lied to because of the artwork's not as good.
The interior art is different, yeah, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, that normally happens when they have like this so fancy cover. Then you open like, oh, what is this?
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, at least in the cover of these superheroes from Marvel is the same art, in the cover and inside the art is the same crap. So they won't lie. They're improving, right?
Yeah, I remember I got like a Cyberforce comic one time, like a graphic novel, right? And I thought the whole thing would be drawn by Mark Silvestri, but he only done like the first issue in it, and the rest was a different artist. Hugely disappointed.
Yes, totally.
And you know what else is fancy now that we're talking about fancy?
What?
On Dead Border, Paper Dime.
Thank you.
Very nice.
It's a quality book right here, right? This is a quality book. We go from the Australian celebrities to the Mexican celebrities now.
Ooh.
Nice.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
Talk about On Dead Border, Escape or Die, which in Spanish is called Infestation, which makes more sense when you know what the story is about, right? But of course, our good old friend Adam Post had to come and ruin it. And
He had to come in and ruin it?
to come in and ruin the name that I like so much. But anyways, absolutely great looking book, and I very much look forward to it. When are you guys launching?
We've decided to launch on the 12th of August.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming pretty soon.
In 10 days.
2 more weeks. 2 more weeks.
Whoa.
All right. But you guys still have
10 more days. We're nervous, John and Carla.
Don't be nervous,
man.
I mean, it's
We got the
very
jitters.
it's very hypocritical of us to say don't be nervous. We were so nervous too.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
Well, I was.
We got the border zombie jitters.
Yeah, and you guys still have the mailing list open. So if anybody here in the chat has not yet subscribed to that mailing list, please do so. And I'm extending the invitation now that Clayton and Corey are here. You guys have a great channel. Might want to have these guys on because they're pretty badass. I'll tell you, they're pretty badass.
Yeah.
They have a pretty badass. And they got endorsed by none other than George Romero himself for this comic.
Oh wow.
Yeah, actually, one of our writers, Ray Ramos, who lives in El Paso, Texas, he went to San Diego Comic-Con back in 2007, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he got a chance to talk to George Romero, and it was awesome because he was like all alone, and he had all the time in the world to talk to him. And he pitched the idea to Romero about Undead Border, Zombies on the Border, all the metaphor of the cartel war, and all that good stuff. And George was ecstatic. He loved the idea, and he was surprised that somebody finally was going to take the topic, the borderland, and using it as with the zombie motif. So we got his blessing. There's even a
That's
picture
awesome.
of Romero over there with holding our little sign or something.
Oh, I want to see that now.
I'll look for it. I'll show it to you later.
Sorry
Yeah.
to put you in the spot, but I really want to see that. It's all good. No, but it's pretty interesting to see the contrast between the artwork of Kosor, so unique, and then the unique style of Undead Border as well. That looks more like on what the Mexican mainstream comics look like. No?
Yeah, I mean, like
That's
they're,
great.
I think, under the same genre, which is horror.
Horror, yeah.
But you have zombie horror, and you have like fantasy, dark fantasy. You have so many subgenres inside
Yeah.
horror, right? And there are also so many different styles. Like, I don't know, and they both work so well for their own stories. So
Right, because I remember you saying about the expression and all that, and this comic just has as much expression too. It's very cinematic in a lot of ways.
well, I
too.
believe that a good comic should be very expressive.
Right.
I don't care what your style is, how you ink, how you pencil. I don't care. What I do care is that I receive the message as like, look, you don't have any kind of sound, voices, music. You don't have that in a comic. So everything's visual, right? Of course, that the story is very important. I mean, I would say the story is the main thing, but you have to be very like evocative, very expressive. You have to go like as far as you can, because that's what just illustrating the story to the reader. So everything like comes down to how well you explain what's happening and how you can like make the reader feel what you felt when you were writing or when you read the story for the first time. So I think there's this little factor that I don't know if people talk much about it. That's why I'm always like constantly saying like, yeah, the technique is good, but also don't forget, So that's something that makes a really good comic, in my opinion.
I think they should talk about it, Carla, because it's like you said, it's very important to transmit an emotion through the drawing, no?
That's the only point of making art. If you don't have a
Exactly.
message, it makes no point whatsoever. It's just
Exactly.
a couple of pretty graphics, and that's all. And
You see why I hired her, guys? That's why.
You're
I totally agree.
Yeah, I don't know. Stat, have you have a chance to check out this comic yet on Dead Border?
This is the first time I've actually heard about it.
Yeah.
To be honest. So I'm learning along right here.
Yeah,
You should play the trailer, John, and then.
No, we were going to, but come on, man, I'm saving the best for last.
Oh, okay.
How much I like your trailer.
He's building it up. He's building it up.
You know how much I like your trailer. You guys' trailer is really kick-ass. I wish I had that trailer too. Not that our trailer is bad. Our trailer is great, But that trailer rocks. You guys, no, I know. That trailer,
I did that freaking trailer.
you did amazing, by the way.
I don't.
You did amazing.
John, you're in trouble.
Johnny's gonna get in there.
You guys want to tell how the zombie apocalypse starts at the border?
I don't want to spoil it, but
Damn it, tell us.
it has to do with ticks. It has to do with ticks.
With ticks, right?
Yes,
great.
yes, sir.
Which is why the name infestation made so much sense at the beginning. But you know
Yes,
what?
we have a. I don't know if this summer we had that problem, no. But other than COVID and the cartel killing each other, we have also a tick problem during the summer over here.
Oh damn!
Yes.
Yeah, so that's
Prophetic.
how the idea came out, because we had a dog, we had a rescue dog,
Yeah.
and he was covered with ticks, and that's where the idea came out. I mean, it's sad, but
Yeah, it's sad, and the dog looked like a living grapevine. So
Come on. Let's play the trailer. This gets me excited every time.
In 2006, 656 Comics unleashed Infestación. It became the only Latino zombie comic of its time. Now, 656 Comics brings us the most intensely shocking graphic novel experience of all time. Undead Border. Escape or die. The border is overrun by the living dead, and the only option is to escape or die. 656 Comics brings back the dead.
Woo!
Man, that's a great looking trailer. I'll never get that.
Looks
Very
awesome.
mad.
What do you guys think? What do you, Clayton? What do you think about that trailer and that project?
It makes me jealous. I wish our trailer looked that cool with all the moving parts and stuff.
I'm gonna say it. I also want a trailer like that.
Yeah, everybody wants a trailer. Which makes me wonder, who did you guys' trailer? Did you guys make it yourself?
Yeah, my brother, our other brother, he's into the whole motion graphics thing. So yeah, he did it for us.
This is so nice. We're all like families working together in the
Right,
comics,
right,
you
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, do you guys like punch each other or something in the work time, or do you work professionally and smoothly like the Barton brothers?
656. They're not fighters. They're lovers.
Oh,
And like I mentioned earlier with the Barton brothers, we are our worst critics. I mean, if I show it to my brother, he doesn't like it. He'll tear it apart and back to the drawing board, I guess. And
Damn.
and it's all for the good of the project, man. I mean, it's
and
That's
and,
great. I didn't even do that.
and I guess the advantage is because we're family. I mean,
we can't hit each
We-
other.
we can like accept the recommendation, the friendly recommendations, no?
Right.
Yeah, you
And-
can be a
and-
little bit more honest.
Yes. On the other part, like if you hire an artist or some other dudes doing the art, it's kind of hard to come like strong and say,
Hey man, do it again.
yeah. For example, I'm the writer and I come up with these ideas and then I show them to Oliver or to Dominic,
Right.
and man, what the fuck are you thinking about? Oh no, you know. So
Totally.
so it's kind of fun, and it's very honest,
And-
super honest.
And it gets
Yeah.
very intense sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's all good for the good of the project.
Absolutely.
you have to be honest. It doesn't work in other way than that.
And I love about this project in particular, the fact that you guys have all that social commentary in it, right? Like a lot of the zombies are actually people from like actual mainstream Mexican figures, if you will,
That's
no?
awesome.
A lot of jabs thrown there, which is why you guys got in trouble and almost killed, by the way.
John likes the story.
Yeah, John likes the story.
I want the story. Come on, Clayton hasn't heard it. Neither
Yeah,
has-
what happened?
Yeah, so we live in the border, and we've been doing this comic thing like for around 15 more than 15 years, and back in the 2008 7 and 8 it was really there was a drug war going on, and you know how a comic artist has the responsibility to like show his context and then talk about what nobody is talking about, no? So, well, there you go. We all naive and innocent and doing the right for the people, for la raza, and we started talking shit. And we started like doing this.
This is the comic book.
Yeah, that's the comic book Carmesí.
You guys
Yeah,
know
so yeah, we started like hitting soft spots or for the cartel, and we had like 2 calls, and it only took 2 calls for me to say fuck it.
I mean, if
you guys have somebody take a shit on your living room.
no, man, it's if you guys are worried about cancel culture, back then was like your real cancel culture.
Yeah, that's hardcore, man. So did this book come out?
Yeah, it came out in 2009. We did a low print run where we went to a comic convention in San Francisco, right? The Ape Expo. Yeah, and we sold out there, and that was it. No more. But we are gonna do it again. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're planning on changing some stuff, like tweaking some things, and we plan to do it again.
Hey, Pancho.
Yep.
I think that the story that you just mentioned can also be a very good comic.
I know. Yeah, I think the
I want to see the guy taking a shit in your living room. I
think the personal stuff is really good.
Wasn't that Johnny Depp's wife that took a shit in your room?
Yeah. She took the idea from the guy who was in our house.
Wow.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was weird times. You learn a lot, and then you don't believe the level of stress, no? For a comic book, I mean, it's not supposed to be like that. So, but the thing is, like, you see the effects of your art, of your storytelling, that it really goes out there, no, and moves people. Probably not in the way you want it to be, but it actually made some guys uncomfortable.
As you should, yeah. Art should have that effect for sure, and I'm sure we all have gone through setbacks with our comics. You know, like you guys had people harassing you because you were throwing jabs at the cartels over down there in Mexico. Our house burned down in the middle of writing the Grim Reaper 2, and we finished it up. But that's the idea, right? Keep moving forward and keep making this happen, you know, because it's a passion at the end of the day, no?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
totally.
I think it's too late. Like I was like, oh, don't scare our guests. No, it's
They're
too
scared.
late. Oh well.
Guys, it's content for YouTube, so it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, dude.
Also,
Our kids are brave though. They're from Australia. They're like used to wrestling alligators and shit. No?
Where is that from?
Oh man, those cartels are scary. We've seen them in like Breaking Bad, and what else? What else are we watching them in, Corey? Oh, we watched
Sicario or something.
Yeah, Sicario. That was like.
But that's tame, guys.
Holy shit!
That's only the peak of the iceberg.
Well, there's the giant spiders in Australia. That's that's very
Oh,
scary.
is that true? Are there giants?
You get the really small spiders that are even deadlier.
Yeah, but you get big spiders too, snakes, lots of deadly creatures down here.
But like I've seen a lot of memes, you know, like you have the typical only in Russia memes that this grandma with the huge fire gun on top of a bear, but then you have the only in Australia memes in which you have like a beautiful house and then there's like a snake like around a tarantula like smashing.
Pretty much.
Oh my god! how do Australians do to survive? I would be really
It's
scared.
it's not that bad actually. You just keep away
we
from them.
we live in the city, so
Yeah.
we're near the city.
This is
I'm glad,
the
I'm
wolf
glad.
spider. Is that something that's from over there?
Probably.
Oh,
Looks
nice.
like it could be.
Well, also, I guess it depends on where you live, right? Like if you're in the middle of the
Yeah, I
city,
would
probably you won't have that problem. But yeah, I've seen a lot of those memes. I shouldn't take
And-
reference from
and
memes.
these fuckers are mean too.
Yeah, they are. They'll mess you up. Especially if you hit them with your
Seen a guy
car. They'll,
fighting with one once.
They look cute, but they're very, very
Take a
mean.
lovely picture though.
Right.
yeah.
So Clayton and Corey, as you know, as a brother and you know, as a brother team, you know, of artists and writers, especially for you, Clayton, do you ever like are you ever like the 656 people were saying, you know, that sometimes there's, you know, altercation or misunderstandings and things like that. Are you guys pretty especially you, Clayton, since you're like more of his mentor and stuff, are you ever rough with your brother or pretty lenient?
I remember back when we were living together, I'd show him a piece of artwork and he would tell me that it needed improvement in one way or another. Oh, thank you so much, Albino. Thunder Buns. Really
Awesome.
appreciate that. He would give me critique and I'd be like, dude, what the hell are you talking about? This looks great. But then I'd be like, dude, I'm sorry I went off at you. You were so right. but no, Corey's great. Like, he trusts me a lot, which is awesome. So there's relatively little resistance there.
Yeah.
I try
pretty
to,
much the same person.
you know, I do a lot of draw overs for him as well because, you know, we found out that that's one of the easiest ways for him to learn. So his faces have improved a lot from doing that, and you know, just a lot of little aspects we kind of learn off of each other in many different ways. And we're lucky to have that there because a lot of us being artists, we're doing this solo and we don't, you know, our friends aren't artists a lot of the time. We're usually like the odd ones out in a way. And so to have Corey there to bounce ideas off of and to get feedback from is quite a wonderful gift.
It's very beautiful, guys. I know. I love my brothers too.
And just to add, Corey, what was the hardest thing that your brother has to? Because I know drawing faces is a nightmare. Same thing with hands, right? Every time faces, female, like every time I draw a female face, it just looks like a guy in drag. So
it looks like John.
It looks like me.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think now in issue 2 I can draw pretty good faces, but for issue 1, I'm probably more concerned about like the female bodies because I wanted to make sure those all look good, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, just general proportions and stuff.
So I'm fixing a lot of those up in issue 1.
I think it's always harder to draw what you don't have, right? Like I try to draw these huge biceps and muscly monsters, and they are very gay. And then I have to like redo them a lot because they look very feminine. Or
totally.
Like, can you step like this? Can you do this? And they're like, oh, so that's how it goes.
Well, you know, a man's built more like a brick or something, and the feminine body's always nicely curved and stuff.
Sleek
Big contrast.
Gestural, yeah.
Definitely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Big differences.
What do you think, Abel?
About what? About what's difficult about drawing?
Yes.
I think, personally, I find everything difficult, especially when you want to make, you know, when you have a story in your mind, but you don't know where to start, even if you have certain references, but the references you feel with them kind of like limited to explore other venues, so it comes back and forth. So, but for me, the most difficult aspect is the gestures in the faces, because I mean, when you get at it, it's easy to draw a background, it's easy to draw clothes and even poses, but the emotion, the humanity of the characters is kind of like the most difficult thing to do, because they are drawings, you know. They're and that's the same, man.
I will say, the big pain in the butt was obviously hands and feet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, hands are rough too. Hands are rough. And I want to shift that to statistical zero because you have been making. First of all, I want to thank you because your sketch of me is pretty thin. It looks a lot better than the real deal.
You're using it as your profile picture.
I'm actually using it as my profile picture. A lot of people who've gotten your sketches use it as a profile picture because it's flattering, man.
But I love it. Like it looks exactly like John.
No, it does not. But I mean, it looks like me, but like a skinny version of me. So I like it.
It's like a cartoon where I didn't get the likeness rights.
So when did you start like developing this passion for sketchiness?
Oh, I mean, I've been drawing all my life, but this stuff came. I quit Twitter earlier on in the year, and then I came back around April because I've been listening to these streams a lot, and I was thinking, well, I want to help these people somehow, get their words out for their books. So I started back up, and I started just doing these drawings as like a way to get eyes on books, because if you just tweet something out, you retweet, it's usually not really noticed in a huge list of things. But if you get a picture, that's Billy Tucci. If you get a picture with it, usually people will stop for a second.
I just love the fact that when I see one of the cards that you're making, Stat, I instantly know who it is.
It is you.
Instantly. Like, I don't know, you have like kind of, you draw the faces a little bit like generically, but you like capture the essence so well. Like you know exactly what characterizes somebody. Like you make it so recognizable. Like, wow.
I switched from studying comic books to studying animation. And you're talking about like drawing hands and drawing facial expressions and eyes and things. There's really nothing better than animation studying for that kind of thing, because you have to have the repetition, like learning how to draw shapes. Like everything's got a shape. Most, like if you're learning how to draw arms, it's usually just two favor-sided triangles that are linked up together or something like that, depending on how you're going. And that forces you to have to make a decision on which way the arm is facing.
Yep.
But
yeah. The basics are pure geometry, right?
Yeah. And then you just do some overlays.
The chat, do they look like us, or those are a beautified?
They're a beautified version, but they look like us.
Yeah, they look better than you guys. Sorry.
Why don't you show your face and have statistics zero grade? That's right. Yeah, no, definitely. Thank you for that, brother. I mean, I really appreciated it.
Sure.
Nice figure, man.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of those in an album. I think I've got maybe 45 or 50 creators and their characters.
Do you plan on doing anything with that album? Maybe an Indiegogo project?
I've been asked about it, but I mean, these are all for like, just getting eyes on accounts, eyes on, things like that. So I don't know if I'm really one to try to make money off of it.
Okay.
It's like just to kind of like get more people pointed at you guys.
No, absolutely. And I appreciate it. But remember, if you're good at something, don't do it for free, right? Except for my picture, you keep that one free, but
No, this is I mean, it's good practice, and that's part of what I'm nailing down stuff. Eventually I'll do something. I'm doing these Chaplin sketch cards for Charlie's London's campaign.
Right, that's right.
How many have you done so far? I've seen a lot.
Of those, I've done, I think, about 32 to 35.
Gosh.
And I'm going to, I don't even know how many I'm going to go. She's launching in October, so I'll probably be drawing them here and there up until then, because I want to say she's going to use them for a tier. So I'll just ship them off to her, and she can.
Fascinating character, the Charles Chaplin.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know, in fact, he had a bunch of children, and I actually met his daughter because little do you know, she lives in Colombia, where I'm from.
Really?
I met her in person. Huh?
Yeah. That's cool.
She's ugly as hell, but she is his daughter. Yeah. Fascinating.
I want to take a moment to say, okay, because I sometimes I feel I need to clarify stuff. My husband, sorry. My husband is not a very politically correct person. Okay.
I like that about him.
We noticed.
You probably have figured out that he has no filter. He likes to speak his mind. He's a very free man. That's why he started a show in this channel called Mask John Speaks, which is political commentary in which he speaks like this way, like blunt, no filters at all. If you enjoy that kind of
rudeness,
like you're probably gonna enjoy a lot that show. But I think it's a little bit late to warn everybody. I think you
guys figure it out. Hi, Tatsunami. Good to see you, man.
Oh, yeah. Tatsunami.
Thank you for tuning in.
I would rather a person act more naturally than, opposed to whatever else.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely. And for everybody who's tuning in late, don't forget, we are today showcasing KOTOR by the Barton brothers, and also pretty soon launching Undead Border Escape or Die by the 656. But why do you guys name yourself 656 anyways?
It's the area code of Ciudad Juarez.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
The area code of where we live. Yeah.
Cool.
Wow.
People thought it was like something satanic, no? Like we're one number away from the devil or some shit like that.
Man. Imega, do you want to show us what you're working on or not really?
I'm not allowed to do it.
You're not allowed?
Oh.
No. The guy who commissioned me that watercolor, Tech Force Prime, has my balls. I cannot show that thing.
Literally.
Damn. Well, hopefully you get your balls back, brother.
Understood.
I hope that when he launched the campaign, he allows me to show it.
All right.
Oh, it's a comic book, Imega?
Yeah, Tech Force is going to launch a comic about his characters, and the watercolor is going to be one of the, what's the name? The perks?
Yeah.
So it's going to be
like a print poster?
I guess that's what he's going to do.
Oh, cool. That's cool, man.
Absolutely. And now that we're talking about that statistical, maybe you could, this is just an idea, make a comic with those sketches,
With I've got the CG sketch or the CG comic strips that I've done.
Mm-hmm.
They're asking about those. The only problem is a lot of this stuff is like I'd have to redraw absolutely everything because it's all speed sketches. Most of the stuff is done 45 minutes from blank page to colored.
That's true.
And stuff. So I mean, it would be going through the whole thing digitally to get that going. So that's something to consider.
I always read those. That's how I find out what goes on in my house at this point. Every time I see like the whole Pico situation, it's because of your comics. So thank you, bro. Hey, so before we end, we were talking with Abel earlier about what you may call it, indie movies, right? Your favorite indie movies. So let's go around finding out what your favorite indie movies are, and then we'll finish there. Clayton, what's your favorite indie movie?
Oh man, that's a good question. I don't know if I've got many favorite indie movies. I mean, I like a lot of David Lynch movies. I don't know if they're classed as indie though. It's like kind of a
more like experimental, avant-garde stuff, right?
Yeah, David Lynch, very, very weird, experimental, dreamlike stuff. Really loved Eraserhead when it came out. It was so strange, and it seemed like there was a lot of suggestions made. There's always a lot of suggestions made within David Lynch's stuff that, if you...
Durante 4 años.
And then of course we get the stupid ad.
Clayton, did you watch Twin Peaks: The Return?
Yeah, I did. It was amazing. I absolutely loved that.
Episode 8, right?
I watched it with Corey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's constant suspense. We're like, when is this guy going to finally wake up?
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely remember Rabbits. Isn't he the same director as that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal? What's his name? Where he time travels because an airplane falls on his house or whatever. What's the name of that movie? That has a rabbit too, like a person with a rabbit.
No, that's Richard Kelly, the director of Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko, that's the one. All right.
Oh yeah. This one's a weird one here. Basically, you're watching this scene for basically the same scene the entire way through, and it's very
Very
like you're
uneasy.
watching a family of rabbits. It's super weird.
Right, it does look very weird. But I've seen rabbits before, I think. Yeah, I think I've seen it before. Yeah, great choice, man. Let's go with David Lynch's Rabbits then for Clayton.
Yeah. All right, we'll go with that. Pretty weird out there little movie.
How about you, Omega?
Maybe I have seen indie movies in the past, but at the moment I don't recall anyone.
Come on, man.
Yeah, that's tough.
I have a question for you then from Albino Thunderbones. Do you pronounce your name I Mega or E Mega?
They can go the both ways. They sound cool.
Man, you really need your balls back, man. All right, Abel, what's your favorite indie movie?
My favorite indie movie, definitely has to be among those. I would go with Tetsuo the Idol Man. It's a Japanese film, black and white. It's cyberpunk.
Oh, jeez.
Tetsuo the Idol
I've
Man.
heard of that one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Give you nightmares.
it's pretty weird, man. Crazy
Good?
stuff. It's a man that his penis becomes into a machine. Imagine that. That is like a drilling machine. His
Pretty
penis.
good.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good. Is this it?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh yeah, it
Whoa.
looks pretty freakish.
Looks awesome.
A lot of that Japanese horror too. I've seen a lot of weird Japanese stuff. Like, have you seen that one where something grows out of the girl, comes out of the girl's body, and they start playing tennis with it? And it's like a really weird alien. You squeeze it and milk comes out. I mean, I'm probably explaining it super bad, but yeah.
No, I don't know which movie you're talking about, man, but it has to be there.
Is
Yeah.
that the movie or not?
What the movie I'm talking about? Yeah.
Okay.
Look at
Corey,
that.
we gotta watch this.
Yeah, we gotta check it out.
Yeah, it's crazy.
How
It's
old
just
is-
1 hour.
oh,
The movie is
1998,
just 60 minutes.
89.
It's just 16 minutes, is it?
60 minutes, just over an hour.
All right, I got you.
There's 3 of them.
Man,
Oh
It
wow.
looks like classic.
Yeah, actually, Darren Aronofsky, the director of Requiem for a Dream,
Yeah.
inspired himself from this film by making his movie Pi, the first he did.
Actually, that's Pancho's favorite indie movie, Pie.
Yeah, Aronofsky took his aesthetics from this film.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
oh wow. Damn. All right, that's enough.
Yeah.
John.
Anybody at 6? Actually, no. It's Corey's turn. Corey, which one is your favorite indie movie?
I don't really have one. I don't know that many indie movies, but I'd probably say The Room is the ultimate indie movie.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, we have to
Good
see
one.
the high mark. We have to play the high mark. We have to play the high mark.
You have to.
Yeah.
You tear me apart, Lisa?
True. Bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not.
High mark.
Oh, hey, Johnny, what's up? I have a problem with Lisa. She said that I hit her. What? Well, did you? No, it's not true. Don't even ask. What's new with you? Well, I'm just sitting up here thinking, you know?
Did anybody ever find out where Tommy Wiseau was from?
He's pretty
Nah,
mysterious,
it's all
man.
mystery still.
He kept saying he was from New Orleans, but
Why so land? No.
absolutely. The Kenos always says that you guys are all into some freaky stuff. Yes, they are.
I think I remember a movie, but I don't know if it's indie.
What is it?
It's called A Brand New Life. It's a Korean movie from 2009, if I remember.
Brand New Life. Have you guys seen Parasites?
Not yet, but
Not
I've heard
yet.
it's good.
Oh, I did want to see that.
It's pretty good.
I've been telling Clayton we should watch it.
I think, if I can say something, I think Burning is a better film about the same subject matter than Parasite. It's a little bit more dark, and more serious, but I think it's better than Parasite. But You know, that's what I
Nice.
think.
I like Dark and Serious.
Actually, the film Burning is based on a Haruki Murakami short story. I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah, man, the Korean movies are great. Have you guys seen Train to Busan?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think
Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
That
The new
movie.
one is coming out soon, right?
Anyone seen I Saw the Devil?
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
movie.
it's really good.
Brutal.
Old Boy.
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's sick.
All right, and then let's finish off with.
Wait!
Oh,
Oh shit!
Oh, here comes the.
Pregnant lady coming.
Hey, John, I sent you the private the trailer of the film I was watching.
okay.
So it's just a minute and a half. If you want to check it out in the private chat.
All righty, I'll put it on after we get the other two, and I'll show the one we're seeing right now. Let me see, which one is your favorite indie movie, Pancho?
He left already, but he told me to say that his favorite movie is Pi from Aaron Aronofsky. So
Pi?
Yeah. Pi, yeah.
I've seen that one suggested a few times.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And for me, anything John Carpenter, his early stuff.
So
Yeah, he's
we'll
awesome.
go with
They Live, Escape from
They
New
Live,
York, yeah, or The Thing.
The Thing, classic.
I didn't know we could pick those.
Oh, this shit.
I mean, there are indie.
anything
Are
that's
they?
cool,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's mad.
Here's They Live for those of you who haven't seen it. Best movie ever made.
Strike.
Strike.
Have you seen this, Corey?
Yeah, seen it.
We watched it together, I think.
Very
I love-
classic.
I love the alley fight scene.
The last time I saw like that guy, I took a heavy dose of LSD. I remember that.
Oh, shit. And how was it, Abel? Was it
Bad. That was bad, man. I felt like I was melting myself.
good? You were watching the movie while high on LSD?
No, I was on the street. Imagine that. It was in the middle of Carnival, man. The carnival.
Oh, shit. How did you survive, man?
I don't know.
This guy's a badass.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his favorite movie was Blackbeard's Ghost.
There's a company that sells those kind of sunglasses. I mean that model, but not the kind you can see.
Now with the same
Black and
effects.
white and aliens, right? But
That has to be creepy. I think that this is what happened to Nietzsche when he became crazy, man. I think that he came into realization of something, and he started things like this. I guess, man. You know, this shit is to make you crazy, to look.
that's right now the comic shops currently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So true. Good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And what would the manga section will say?
Nothing. I guess it would be the same.
It would be the actual book.
Yeah.
No filter, no nothing.
No filter. Yeah.
This feels like what modern media is like these days.
Right.
Yep.
You watch Channel 7 News. Obey.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
What's your problem?
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
And SJW.
We should watch
I
this
said,
movie.
what's your problem?
You are my problem. You're scary.
You haven't seen this?
No.
No, you know what you're gonna do right
I'm
now.
gonna have nightmares.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Look at that guy.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Very, very great social commentary that applies to today's media more than ever.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Pretty scary.
And then Stat, what's your favorite indie movie?
Oh man, I've been racking my brain this whole time, and I mean, I think the first one that comes to mind, and it's not just because there's a lot of Spanish speakers in here, but Pan's Labyrinth was the first one that came to mind because it kind of reminded us, like, you know, hey, fairy tales aren't always happy endings, and you know, good feelings and stuff like that. Like, it brought it back to kind of that old Hans Christian Andersen style. It's not always going to end well type stuff, and it did it beautifully too. So I mean,
right. And who can never forget these scene movies, right?
Yeah, man.
Heck of an
Watch it as a
imaginative
kid,
movie.
it's still hunting.
Yeah, that scene is the.
What's his name? Is it Guillermo del Toro? No, it's
Yes.
Yes, Del Toro.
Yeah,
Guillermo.
This is called El Laberinto del Fauno, right?
Right, yeah, it's a Spanish movie, but he does monsters like, man.
His vampire movie Kronos was something to see if you haven't seen that either. That's
Hell yeah, man.
Really? Kronos.
Oh yeah, he did a totally different kind of take on vampires. It was really cool.
The other one that I like from him is The Devil's Backbone.
Yeah, that was good.
That's.
Do you guys remember that he was going to make a game with Kojima?
Yeah, PT, right?
Yeah.
Silent Hills.
I like
That would have
he
been
does better on a
epic.
smaller budget, on like independent stuff. When he gets into the higher budget, I think he starts to stumble a little bit.
Right.
I have heard recent rumors that he is going to do his own horror game now.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully he will make it. That's what I felt when I saw Pacific Rim. You know, I thought it looked cool, but it lacked what?
It was boring, dude.
That one haunted house movie he did too didn't do that well. Was it Crimson Peak? Yeah.
Oh, that didn't do well?
Not really. It didn't get much critical response, and I don't think it made a ton of money. Then there's Mimic. Everybody forgets about Mimic. Remember that?
Oh, Mimic is great. Man.
Was Mimic good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From back in what, like the late 80s?
96, I think. 94, 96.
Yeah, cool. Oh man, I'll have to check that out. It doesn't have very good reviews though. Like
It's one of those ones that I think you look back and it's got a lot of the second two, the sequels weren't that great. They took a step down every time you know, like they brought it back. But the first one
was good.
I think there's a director's cut that he had where he put some more like story gaps and stuff like that in there. That might be one to look at. But it's a pretty decent movie.
Yeah, it's decent. Yeah.
But you could tell the studio got involved and like really messed with it. Miramax was like, "We want a monster movie," and he's like, "I got some stuff to say." They're like, "No, we want a monster movie."
Harvey Weinstein was the one that messed up Mimic.
Yeah.
Among other things,
he butchered it.
Yeah.
Damn, that shit's scary as hell, man.
Yeah.
Actually, this movie and another movie called Jacob's Ladder came to mind when I was looking at.
Oh,
shit.
Oh, yeah.
Have you guys seen the remake of Jacob's Ladder?
There's a remake. No, I haven't.
No.
Stay away. Stay away from it.
Yeah, I knew that was going to be bad, man.
Tough one to tell nowadays. I think her dad is a lot scarier than that creature is in the movie. He was cold.
Jacob's Ladder.
Jacob's Ladder is a great movie. I would have picked it if I haven't seen the movie Martyrs. Have you guys seen the movie Martyrs?
Yeah. Martyrs, we've seen that, Corey.
It's a French movie about a cult, right? That basically kidnaps people to push them to the edge of death, just to find out if the afterlife is real or not.
Oh,
It's a brutal movie. Though.
I was like, soft.
Pretty good.
And the ending is pretty amazing. Obviously, I won't give it up because I want you guys to watch it for yourselves. But this movie is fantastic, man. It's a phenomenal movie. French movies, I'll tell you, this one, Martyrs, High Tension, a bunch of them.
Oh yeah.
Great filmmaking. Mm-hmm.
High Tension's great too.
The French and the Japanese are the most craziest people.
Right. And recently, I don't know if it's still on Netflix, I watched a Mexican film, really great Mexican film called The Similars. Have you guys seen that one?
No.
So, The Similars. Yes, it's a Mexican movie about a kid who has mental powers and makes everyone look the same with the same face. So they start going crazy. They're locked up in this train station, right? And they all see that everybody starts like basically looking alike. And And it's because the kid read an old comic book in which aliens invaded Earth and made everyone look the same so that they would stop fighting and stuff. And so the kid becomes obsessed with this comic book, but the kid happens to have superpowers himself. So he controls the mind of these people who are trapped in a storm in this old train station, and starts fucking with their heads, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool how they start fighting with each other and going all crazy, and the kid is just manipulating the whole thing behind the scenes. Really recommend. The last time I checked was on Netflix. I don't know if it's still there, but that's where I watched it the first time. Really great Mexican as well.
Man. There is a lot of Mexican genre films that go under the bus and under the radar because the companies give a lot of popularity or
romantic comedies.
Yeah, romantic comedies and all that crap, man. Jeez.
Or they get remade in the U.S. like Rec did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh. Those are the kind of movies that need to be in movie theaters here in Mexico.
That's true. That's true.
For sure. Cool.
Right. And finally, we have the movie that Abel was watching when we started the show. So let's see which movie that is. It's called Blood Machines, right?
Yep.
Looks good. I didn't know there was a full movie for it.
It is three. There are 3 short films.
How long does it go for?
It's about wait.
That's cool.
Oh man.
Together they are about 57 minutes.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Órale.
What's that on YouTube or?
It says Shutter, no? So
Yeah,
you have
Shutter,
to-
or if you want to talk to Jack Sparrow,
Pirate Bay.
Yeah.
This looks like something you shouldn't watch when you're high.
Oh shit.
Or that you should watch when you're high.
Oh, there, yeah.
Well, the soundtrack's gonna be good. That's for sure.
Nice.
I felt the story is a little bit cliche, but it holds up.
Have you seen The Void, Abel?
The series?
No, the movie, the
Yeah.
Kickstarter movie they made.
Oh, that was
No.
a Kickstarter movie?
I know that movie. It's
That was
like
awesome.
a HP Lovecraft kind of.
Yeah.
They're trying to take a serious stab at it because most of them are like comedies, like Reanimator or something.
It's pretty
It was
cool.
cool.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, it was good. Yeah, The Void, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we go, I want to say goodbye to the chat, to Ken Asobo, who stick all the way around. Albino Thunderbones, thank you for backing Kosor as well.
Thank you so much.
And Justin, I don't know what's so funny, bro. What's up? And then Albino, you say that District 9 was very good. Yeah, that movie was South African. Really, really great movie, too.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that the main actor was South African, too. I've seen him in a bunch. He was in the remake of the Freddy movie, the Friday the 13th movie.
Was he in that?
Say it again?
Was he in that? Charlita Copley?
I don't remember his name.
That was Rorschach. That was in the. Wasn't that?
Yeah, Rorschach. That guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Rorschach.
So,
Rorschach
yeah.
by Tom King.
Oh my god.
Oh, shut up.
Tom Queen.
So if you catch this on the replay, do not forget to back Kosar. Great looking book, great looking campaign, really great neat concept by Corey Barton and his brother Clayton as well. They do subscribe to their channel, How to Draw Comics. They have a lot of cool tutorials and reviews and basically teaching you how to draw. For
Thanks
people
so
who
much,
don't know
man.
myself.
How
Do
to
subscribe
make-
to this channel as well, White Cat Comics. Watch my show. Mas John, I forget the name of my own
Forget
show.
your own show.
And do back the Grim Reaper was still available. The book is printed. We're just waiting on the last book, basically, because we printed 3. We got 2 of them already printed. Really cool, perfect bound, more than 40 pages book. with its prequel right here, and then the spin-off, the one that we're waiting for, as well as the pinups. We'll be shipping out pretty soon, so do back it, do get it if you haven't done so already. And also don't forget to subscribe to the mailing list for On the Border, Escape or Die by the guys at the Border, 656 Comics. Really, really cool looking project as well.
Thank you.
Even George Romero himself endorsed it because he was that great, man.
Thank you.
I very much look forward to it. We have a release date for that, August 12th, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Once again, thank you everybody who showed up. Thank you, Ken, as always. Thank you, Albino. Thank you for backing this project as well. And thank you for everyone who watched, and thank you for everyone who watches on the replay as well. And thank you to our very special guests. Thank you to Corey. Thank you to Clayton. Thank you to Statistical Zero. Thank you to Abel, Mega, and even thank you to Pancho.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
We'll see you guys next time. Thank you for coming.
Bye.
Thanks so much, man.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.